Hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay, we will start. We had stopped. Where did we stop in the last class?
Sir, we spoke at sir, the Earth's axis.
Or Texas? No, huh? Okay.
Calculating the Earth's axis. Just like this. You should write in one or two lines, sir. Not like this.
Hello.
Yes,
Where did we stop? That Earth axis. Hello. Are you able to hear me?
sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. 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 In the last class, we were discussing about the climate. And we were discussing about the difference between
Yes, sir.
climate and weather. Climate and
Weather.
weather. Okay. Weather. Okay. So, weather it keeps on changing in a short interval of time. Okay, so every hour there will be change in what, in change in the weather conditions. Okay, whereas climatical conditions, they don't change on hourly basis. It larger span. Okay, it requires a larger span of time for climatical changes. Okay, whereas weather, it is a short interval. There may be change in the weather. On the same day, you may face extreme heat and heavy rainfall also. Okay, so in such cases, we say there is change in the weather. Okay, but for climatical conditions to change, it requires a larger span of time. Okay, it requires a larger span of time, that is 25 years or 40 years, 100 years. Okay, so in that span of time, the climatical conditions of a particular place or city will change. Okay, so climate will not go change in a shorter interval of time, whereas weather, it will undergo a change in
Yeah, in the
shorter interval of time. Okay,
time.
so this we had discussed in the last class. Okay, and then the department which is studying about climatical as well as weather changes is called as what? It is called as the meteorological department. Okay,
Yeah,
meteorological department,
meteorological department.
meteorological. Okay, so this department helps in understanding the climate, and it will help us to understand the changes. Okay, and this meteorological department is working based on the satellite images what it captures. Okay, so whatever the satellite images we get with the help of a satellite of a particular place, they study that, and they help us to understand the climatical conditions for a week. Okay, for a week or for a complete month. Okay, so this department is helping us. Okay, and then we discussed the factors which are affecting the climate. Okay, so one by one we will discuss the factors and then start with the new next part. So the first factor which was affecting the climate, okay, climate or weather condition, which was the first factor which is affecting the climate. First one is
Uh,
what? Temperature. Okay,
Temperature.
temperature, and we discussed temperature is measured with help of what? Thermometer. Okay, so there are thermometers which help in measuring the maximum and minimum temperature of a particular day. Okay, so maximum and minimum thermometers are there. Okay, so temperature, and temperature is nothing but what is the temperature? It is the measurement of hotness of a particular area. Okay, to what extent the air conditions are hot. Okay, that is measured, that is given by the temperature of that place. And then we discussed rainfall. Yes, one more factor is what? Rainfall. Okay, and after rainfall, what did we discussed? Another factor, rainfall we discussed, and the third factor we discussed was humidity. Okay, humidity and rainfall. And rainfall, to measure rainfall, which instrument we are measuring? Which instrument we are using? We are making use of what? Rain gauge. Okay, rain gauge. Okay, and to measure humidity, we are making use of we are hygrometer. Okay, hygrometer. 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 Okay, so these are the instruments used to measure this temperature, rainfall, and what? Humidity. Okay, so up to here we are completed with the with our study. Okay, next we will continue. See some images, that is page number 102, 103, 104, whatever the PDF you have sent are not clear. They are not clear. Okay. So I had asked you during the end of the session to make proper
I had
PDF.
sent that day, sir, like again in the group.
In the group you have sent.
Yeah,
Oh, but it's not there.
I'll see.
Just see if possible. Send me.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'll.
will give the page numbers. Okay, one not two. See, one not four. You send me once again. One not four. One not two. One not four and one not two. Once again, you send me. One not four and one not two. It will keep the book properly and then send it because those lines are not visible. Some words and lines are not visible.
Yeah.
Some part of the page is not visible. Okay, complete. Did you send
Yeah.
in the group? Okay, okay. I will go through that. So those two pages are not clear. Okay, next part, see now. Okay, so these whatever the temperatures, these factors were there. Okay, these all factors were affecting the weather of a place. Okay, so these three factors are affecting the weather of a place. Okay, weather of a place is affected by what? Temperature, rainfall, and humidity. Okay, completed. First, you complete taking the pictures.
Yes, yes. Okay.
102, 104.
Yeah.
And the exercise part also. Whatever exercise questions are there, send it. We can discuss.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, send it in the group. I will get it. Okay. So now, so this we are discussed in the last class. Okay. So next we will discuss the next part. Okay. So in the next part we need to discuss. Okay, these points are clear now. Climate, weather, meteorological departments and the factors which are affecting the weather of a place. Okay. So now next we will be discussing the factors which are affecting the climate. Okay, which are affecting the climate. Okay. So in that the first factor is solar radiation. Okay, the first factor what we are discussing is
Solar
solar
radiation.
solar radiation. Okay. So based on the solar radiation, the climatical condition of a particular city, okay, are depending. Okay. So first we will be discussing. Okay. So we will be discussing the factors which are this. See, pay attention. So the first factor we are discussing is solar radiation. Okay, solar radiation. So based on solar radiation, 2 points are given. Okay, so solar radiation. Okay, do you know which layer protects the Earth atmosphere from harmful radiations?
The ozone layer.
Ozone layer. Yes. So ozone layer, what it does, it protects the Earth atmosphere from what? Harmful solar radiations. Okay. So whichever are required for the life on the Earth, such radiations, what they do, they enter in the atmosphere of the Earth. Okay. They enter in the atmosphere of the Earth. Okay. Now, the first factor why solar radiation is affecting the climate is the first reason over here is they have given axis of the Earth. Okay. So this axis of the Earth, if I try to understand, the axis of the Earth, it is slightly tilted. Okay, slightly tilted. Okay, and the Earth, what it does, it rotates along this axis. Okay, it rotates along this axis. Okay, so at 67.5 degree. Okay, it is not straight. Okay, so suppose if the sun is here, okay, then this is tilted. Okay, so because of this, now see, pay attention here. What will happen? Axis of the Earth. Because of this axis of the Earth, so this portion and this portion. Okay, so this portion will be the south pole, and this portion will be what? The north pole. Okay, so whatever the radiations are coming from the sun, they will much impact only the one part of the earth, that is south pole. Okay, and here there will be a shade. Okay, so because of this, what will happen? If the south pole is experiencing a summer season, if it is experiencing which season? Summer season, then the north pole will experience opposite season, that is what? Winter season. Okay, understanding. And same way, so the earth is what? Taking a complete circle around the earth, around the sun. So when it will try to take the complete circle around the what? Sun, what will happen? Say in this position now. So when we are coming under this position, so say this north pole, the north pole will be towards the sun, and south pole will come uh, in the direction away from the sun. Okay, so when the north pole is towards the sun, the north pole will experience summer. It will experience what? Summer, and the south pole will experience what? Winter. Okay, understanding. So see, the earth will be rotating on this axis, as well as it will be revolving around the sun also. Okay, it will be revolving around the sun.
The sun.
Okay, so when it is undergoing a rotation, okay, one part of the earth, that is the south pole, is experiencing summer, and then it will one part will experience what? Winter. After a few months, what will happen? The position of the earth will change. Okay, the position of the earth will change. So when the position of the earth will change, the earth is coming to a new position where the
Yeah.
north pole will be pointing towards the sun, and south pole will be what? Away from the sun. Okay, so the
Okay.
pole which is pointing towards the sun will have more radiations, and when more radiations are there, it will experience summer, and the part which is having away from the sun, it will face less radiations, and when less radiations are there, it will face winter. It will face what? Winter season. Okay, understood. Same way, another
Yes, sir.
two seasons are given there in the book. Okay, autumn and spring season. Okay, also they have given autumn and as well as what? Spring. Okay, So you can see the image over there, figure 7.4. Figure 7.4 in the textbook. If you have the textbook with you, you can see there four positions of the earth are given around the sun. Okay, four
Yeah.
positions of the earth are given. So in the two positions, they have given spring in northern hemisphere and autumn in
Autumn and
southern
southern hemisphere.
hemisphere. So when the earth is on the top of the sun, okay, when it will change its direction and come to this. So see, this is the first position they have given. This is the first position. This is the second position. And next here we have the third position and fourth position. Okay. So first and second, you can see north pole is away from the sun, south pole is towards the sun. So in this case, they have given the climatical conditions as what spring in northern hemisphere. Okay, NP, and that is northern hemisphere, and autumn in the southern hemisphere. So four climatical conditions they have given. One is spring. Next, second one is what? Autumn.
Autumn,
Autumn, and then summer
then winter.
and winter. Okay, understood? So based on the position, the north hemisphere and south hemisphere will experience the different seasons, okay, or different climatical conditions based on the based on the position of the earth with respect to the sun. Okay, getting it? So when south hemisphere is in the direction of the sun, it will experience summer, and since the north hemisphere is away from the sun, it will experience winter. Similarly, in the position 2, when the north pole will be towards the sun, it will experience summer, and the south pole will what? Experience winter.
Winter.
Same way with the other two seasons also. Same way with the spring and autumn. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you understood that figure over
Yes,
there.
sir.
So
Yes,
this is because of the tilt of the earth. Okay, the reason they have given is tilt of the earth. Okay, tilt in the earth axis. Tilt because it is not straight. The earth is, it is not revolving straight. Okay, it is little bit tilted. Okay, it is bit tilted. So because of that, this part will get more sunlight. This part will get a lesser sunlight. Okay, and okay, it will not be equally distributed. So because of that, one hemisphere will get more sunlight, and another hemisphere will not get sunlight. And because of that, you have two different seasons at the same time on the earth. Okay, getting it?
yes, sir.
So India is located in the northern hemisphere. So India is experiencing rainfall now. It is experiencing rainfall. Whereas Australia and some other African countries are coming under southern hemisphere. So they are experiencing summer. Okay, they are experiencing what? Summer. Okay, getting it? Because of the position of the earth with respect to the sun. And then the second reason now. So the first reason was tilt in the earth axis. Now the second reason. So the second reason what we are discussing here is the elliptical shape of the earth. Okay, elliptical shape and the elliptical orbit of the earth. Okay. So in the last class we were discussing what is the ellipse. Okay, egg-like shape. Okay. Yes, egg-like shape is called as what? Egg-like shape is called as ellipse. Okay, it is called as ellipse. And such orbit is called as what? Elliptical orbit. It is called as what? Elliptical orbit. Okay. So, so you can see another figure is given, figure 7.5 in your book. Okay, figure 7.5. Okay. So see, they have shown a egg-like structure there. Okay, egg-like shape along which the Earth is rotating. Okay. So see, you can see there in the figure, sun is given. Okay, and then two positions of the Earth are given, and this is one position. This is another position. So actually the path of the earth is not complete circle. It is just like a ellipse. Okay, it is just like a ellipse, meaning is egg like. Okay, so it is egg like. So when it is egg like, what will happen is, see, if sun is at the center, the distance between this point A and point B from the sun is less compared to distance of the sun from the point C and the point D. Okay, you can see. Okay, see there. Simple it is. So here the distance is maximum. What is maximum here? The distance is the distance is maximum at these two
Max.
positions. Maximum. Whereas when you consider these two positions, the distance is what? Less. Meaning is the sun rays have to travel a larger path. They have to travel a larger path. Okay. And here also the sun has to travel a larger path. Whereas here the sun rays have to travel a little smaller path. Okay. Or a lesser path. Okay. So when the distance of the earth, when the distance of the earth from the, okay, see from the so see here now, try to understand again. Okay, so again they have drawn the axis there. Here the axis is drawn, and then they have given. So see here they have marked NP, and again they have marked what south pole. Okay, so you can see in this place, south pole is towards the sun. South pole is towards the sun, and north pole is little far from the sun. Whereas here you can see here in this figure, here the south pole is little farther from the sun, and north pole is towards the sun. North pole. Okay, this portion. See, this is towards the sun. This is little bit away from the sun. In the figure, you can see. In the figure is given in your textbook. Just pay attention there. Okay, figure 7.5. Elliptical orbit. It is given. Yes, given.
Yes, sir. It is.
Page number 101. Okay, so
7.5.
so there two positions are given. One is north pole towards the sun is given, and south pole away from the sun. Okay, so when north pole is towards the sun, the north hemisphere will experience more radiations. It will experience what? More radiations. Okay, and then when the south pole is towards the sun, it will experience more radiations. Okay, and north pole will experience little lesser radiations.
Yeah.
Okay, getting it from the figure there. So because of this also, the climatical condition will change. Okay, so the first reason we discussed was tilt. Okay, tilt in the axis of the earth. Okay, that is the first reason. Tilt in the axis of the earth. Okay, tilt in the axis of the earth. Tilt in axis of earth. Okay, so I told you earth is not the axis of the earth is not 90-degree, it is tilted. Okay, because of that tilt, there is what one hemisphere will experience more temperature, another hemisphere will experience lesser temperature. And then second is elliptical path. Okay, elliptical path. Elliptical path. So in elliptical path also, so when they are at these points, okay, these positions, one hemisphere will experience the hemisphere which is closer to the sun will experience summer season, and the hemisphere which is away from the sun will experience winter season. Okay, so two reasons are there in the solar radiation. One is tilt in the axis of the earth, and the second reason is what? Elliptical path. Okay, understood the two reasons.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts with this part?
No, sir.
No. So next, next we need to discuss now. Again, we need to discuss the latitude or distance from the equator. Okay. So the next factor which is affecting the climate, the next factor which is affecting the climate is okay. So the next factors, latitude. Okay, latitude or the distance from the equator. So you know latitudes. What are latitudes?
Yes, sir.
What they are? Latitudes.
So, like, it's an imaginary line which divides the earth. Or,
They are the imaginary lines. Okay,
yeah.
they are the imaginary lines. Okay, and these are the horizontal lines. Okay, these are the horizontal lines. Okay, So see, this is Earth. Okay, this is Earth. Then the central latitude is called as equator. What it is called? Equator.
Equator.
Okay, this is the 0 degree latitude. What it is? 0 degree latitude. Okay, so what is happening here is, okay, suppose see there in the again the in the figure, here figure is important. So this is the north pole, okay, and this is the south pole, okay, and this is the sun. Okay. So, whenever the sun rays are occurring, the maximum impact is there on the equator. Okay, the maximum impact of the sun is on the equator. Okay, is on the which latitude? Equator. Okay, so this region which is nearby the equator, which is nearby the equator,
Equator.
this region, it receives more heat. Okay, it receives more radiations, and because of that, the climatical conditions are hot. Okay, it has a hot climate. Okay, it has a hot climate, or the climate that you experience in summer season. Okay, so such type of climate you face it. 1 minute. Okay, so then we will continue. Okay. See. So what is happening? The region which is towards the equator, it will receive what? Direct sun rays. It will receive the direct sun rays from the sun. Okay, and because of this direct sun rays, because of the direct sun rays, you can see that when it receives the direct sun rays, this strip, this equatorial strip, it will receive more temperature. Okay, and the climatical condition is very hot there in such place, where in the nearby regions of the equator. Okay, so now when you go away from the equator, either in the south direction or in the north direction, okay, so what will happen? The temperature will go on decreasing. The temperature will what? Go on decreasing. Okay, and when you reach this place, that is the north pole, extreme north and extreme south, you can see the south pole as well as the north pole of the earth is covered with ice. It is covered with what? Ice. Okay, and this here in such place, the climatical conditions are what? A cold climate. Okay, you experience a cold climate. So near the equator, the sun rays are directly falling on the equator. Because of that, the climatical condition is hot, and it experiences summer type climate. Whereas when you go towards the north pole or towards the what? South pole, what will happen? The temperature will, the heat will, means the rays of the sun impact is less, and since the impact is less, there will be no heat. Okay, there will be no heat, so the temperature will go on decreasing when you go towards the south pole or when you go towards the north pole. Only the maximum temperature will be seen in the equatorial region. Okay, so because of this, equatorial climate is hot, and the climate which you are experiencing in the south pole as well as the north pole, it is cold. Okay, understood why the climatical conditions are changing in the equator and the south pole as well as the north pole. Okay, understood, because of the shape of the earth, and because this is tilted, since the earth is tilted, it is tilted on the axis. Okay, so this will receive direct rays. Okay, whereas here the rays will get what? You don't receive direct rays here. Okay, and since you don't receive direct rays, okay, this poles will have a cold climate. It will have a cold climate. Okay, the next we will discuss the next part. So next, the next factor now. after understanding the latitude, so see three factors we discussed. One is tilt in the Earth axis, okay, which is affecting the climate. Next one is elliptical orbit of the Earth, and the last one is latitude or the distance from the equator. Okay, so as you go towards the equator, the temperature will be hot, and as you go away from the equator, the temperature will
So
get
does
cold.
India live in
Ah,
the equator?
India is lying above equator. Okay, so it is in mid of north pole as well as equator. Okay, so it will experience a moderate climate. Okay, it will experience a moderate climate. See, this is equator. Okay, and this is the north pole. Okay, so India is somewhat here. Okay, is located here. Okay, and since India is located here, see, it is close to north pole also. Some regions are cold, close to equator also. Okay, so the states like Kerala, the states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, then which are close to Sri Lanka, they will experience a very hot climate. They will experience a very hot climate. Why? Because they are close to the equator also, and they are surrounded by the water bodies. Okay, so the places which are surrounded by the water bodies and close to equator will experience what? A hot climate. Hmm? And when you go towards the north, that is Himalayas and Jammu Kashmir, this is close to North Pole. And since it is close to North Pole, the climatical condition will change and it will experience a cold climate. It will experience a cold climate, especially Himachal Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir. Okay, it is little bit close to the north. And again, there is one more reason that the second reason you will study, its height from the sea level is more. Okay, height of these places from the sea level is what? More. Okay, since height is more, there is a reason. Okay, the reason is, see, this is sea level. Okay, sea level. Okay, sea level. So sea bodies, they absorb the temperature. The body and the sea, it absorbs the temperature. Okay, so if the place is nearby sea, okay, nearby means if its height is close to sea level, then it will have more humid and hot climate. It will have more humid and what? Hot climate.
Hot climate.
Whereas if there is a hill station, if there is a which station? Hill station. Okay, hill station. So hill station, the height of the hill station from the sea, the height is very large. Okay, so it is at a larger height, or it is away from the sea level. Okay, it is away from
This
sea level, which are hill stations. Okay, so when you visit a hill stations like Manali, then we have Shimla, all such places. In the north, you have Uti, okay, Uti and all. So such places are what? They are above sea level. And when the places are above sea level, the temperature will be less. Okay. So what is happening as you go higher and higher? Okay, as you go higher and higher, the temperature will decrease. What will decrease? The temperature will what? Decrease. Temperature will decrease means the hotness will decrease. Okay, and hotness will decrease means cold climatical conditions will increase. Okay, so at hill stations you find cold climatical conditions, whereas at the places which are very close to sea, you find a hot climate. Okay, so if you have visited Goa, okay, you have visited Goa or some coastal region, Goa, Mangalore, Karwar, any place you have visited? You visited any place, Sahanya, which are close to sea? No? Sahanya? Hello? Hello, Sahanya?
was actually your video stuck, so your
So
voice
now,
is breaking. So one minute. Sure. I'll just put my laptop. That's why it was a problem. So can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. So see, this point what we are discussing is your next point, and that is altitude. Okay, altitude is called as altitude. So first point we discussed was latitude. Okay, based on the latitude we discussed, if the place is closer to the equator, it will experience hot climate. Okay, and if the place is away from the equator, it will experience a cold climate. Okay, same way based on the altitude. Okay, altitude is nothing but the height. Another name or another meaning of altitude is what? Height.
Right.
Okay, so if height of a place is near to the sea level, okay, if it is nearer to the sea level, then it will have hot climate. It will have what? Hot climate. So the
Portland.
places such like Goa, Karwar, okay, all these Mangalore, which are very close to sea, which are very
Yeah.
close to sea, such places, or Kerala, you can see Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
Okay, so such the border areas, the coastal areas, they are very close to sea level, and at such places the climatical conditions are very hot. Okay, but when you go to the hill stations like Ooty, Ooty you have, then again which in Karnataka, again which place you have, Coorg district you have, Coorg, Madikeri. Okay, so such places are what, at a very larger, at a very higher, they are above the sea level. Okay, they are at a very high height. Okay, above the sea level. There means the location of such places is at a larger height compared to the places which are present towards the sea level. So in such places, the climatical condition is cold. Hello, Sahanya. Hello, hello. Yes, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Based on the altitude, how the climatical conditions are changing. Okay, so the places which are close to sea level. Okay, have you visited any place close to sea level?
Yes, sir.
Which place you
Sir,
have visited?
like Mangalore and Kerala.
Mangalore
Tamil
and Kerala.
Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. So you can see the climatical conditions are hot. Okay, you visit any of the season. Okay, that is during the summer days. If you visit
Summer, yes.
throughout India, there is summer, but in Kerala the temperature is little bit high. Kerala,
Yeah.
Goa, Karwar, such places which are very close to the sea
Sea.
level. Okay,
Yeah.
because of their height. Because of their height. Okay, so they are very close to sea level. Okay, but when you go to hill station, the height is they are at a greater height. Okay, when they are at the greater height, the climatical conditions will be cold. Okay, now why this is taking place, we will try to understand the reason, okay, for this. Okay, so the reason for this is, okay, so see, the reason for this is, see, suppose this is the earth surface. Okay, earth surface. So nearer the Earth surface, the dust particles and the air particles, okay, are more. Okay, the dust particles and what? Air
Air
particles.
particles.
Air particles are larger in quantity, or there are more dust particles and air particles. Okay, in the lower strata of the atmosphere. But when you go to hill stations and all, okay, here the air particles are less. Okay, air particles are also less, and dust particles are also less. Okay,
Yes.
what does this air particles and dust particles do? Okay, they absorb heat. They absorb heat, and when they absorb heat, they increase the temperature of the place. Okay, so in the
Yes.
cities, in a very highly populated cities, where there is more crowd and all, okay, the dust particles are more. Okay, that is the carbon dioxide, CO2, which is present in the air is more, and this CO2 it absorbs heat and it increases the temperature. Okay, whereas when you go to a hill station, the dust particles are less, as well as the air particles are also not a high number. Okay, because of that, the absorption of the heat will be less. Okay, and when the absorption of the heat is less, automatically the temperature will be cold. Okay, so at the ground at the earth surface, the which particles are more? Air particles and
Less.
dust particles are more, and they will absorb more heat, and because of that the temperature is high. Temperature is high
High.
at the earth surface. And when you go to hill station, the air particles are also less and dust particles are also
Also less. Yeah.
less. Because of that the climate is cold. Okay. Understood this? So this is because of the height, or the another name of height is altitude. Okay, altitude of the place. Okay,
Yes.
the altitude of the place or height of the place. So in today's class, we discussed the four conditions. That is, one is solar radiations. So in solar radiations, we discussed two types: elliptical shape of the Earth and tilt of the axis of the Earth. And then we discussed latitude and altitude. Latitude and altitude. So latitude, we discussed about the equator and the North Pole and the South Pole. And then based on the altitude, we discussed about the places nearing to the sea level and the hill stations. Okay. So we can see the difference between the climatical conditions at such places. Okay. So remaining again some more part is there, that is factors. Okay. So some other factors are there which are affecting the climate. Okay. That is distance from the sea and other water bodies. This is the last factor which is affecting the climate, and that is the distance. Okay. Distance from the sea. Distance from the what? Sea. Okay. So see, this water bodies, what they do? Water bodies, they absorb heat. Okay. They absorb what? Heat. Okay, and they get hot. Okay. Whatever the water bodies are there, whatever the sun radiations are falling on these, they will absorb it and they become hot. And they radiate the same hotness in the surrounding locality. Okay, so because of this, most of the places which are nearby the water bodies, or that is sea and oceans, okay, they will experience a hot climate. They will experience a hot climate. Understanding? Okay, and where there are more lakes and ponds, where there are more lakes and ponds. Okay, lakes as well as ponds. In such places, you can see there is a moderate climate. Okay, there is a moderate climate. Okay, why moderate climate? Because what these will do is lakes, they will absorb the heat during the daytime, and in the winter season they will release the heat. They will release the heat in the night time. Okay, in the night time. Okay, whereas ponds also do the same. Okay, so a reverse effect is taking place. In the daytime, they get hot, okay, and in the night time, they will release the heat. So because of that, in the winter season, okay, the places which are nearby the lakes and ponds, they will experience hot climate. They will experience what? Hot climate in which season? In winter season, okay, and in summer season, okay, in summer season and all, or in the winter season. Now this is what I am saying about is winter season. In case of winter, during the daytime they get heat. Okay, these water bodies will get heated, and in the night time they will release the heat. They will release the heat. So in winter season you will experience which climate? Hot climate. Means hot air, breezes and all are taking place because of the lakes. Okay, because of the lakes and ponds. In the cities and all, if you go for a morning walk during the summer season, okay,
Yeah.
during the summer season, you can find there is quite moisture, quite there is a quite moisture and a cold climate nearby the what lakes, nearby the lakes and ponds. Okay, understanding?
Yes, sir.
So this is the other reason, the last reason, that is okay, the distance from the water bodies. So if a large water bodies like oceans and sea is there, then it will result into hot climate. It will result into which climate? Hot climate.
What climate?
Whereas hot climate. Lakes and ponds are there, then it will result into moderate climate. It will result into which climate? Moderate climate. Okay, not too hot, not too cold. Okay, so such climatical conditions are called as what? Moderate climatical conditions. Okay, so these are the four factors which are affecting the climate. Okay, one is solar radiation, next one is latitude and longitude, and the last one is distance from the sea. Okay, so four reasons why the climate is changing. Okay,
Yeah.
understood this much?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
in the
sir.
next class, we will be discussing the different types of climates. Okay,
Yes.
different types of places, and understanding why there is formation of desert, why there is snowfall. Okay, all that we will discuss. Okay,
Yeah.
next class we will discuss. So you read it till here. Okay, read it till here and try to solve the questions which are given in the textbook. Behind the chapter, some questions will be given up to this part. Try to solve that. Okay.
Yes.
As soon as the chapter will over, again we will discuss few more questions.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Yes. Yes.